They just said this morning. They didn't give me a time. Okay.
Thank you, baby.
There's the camera behind you.
Oh.
So you can leave that there, but just be mindful of you.
Okay, then I'm gonna just press play and move.
Okay.
I'm gonna record. So just you.
You can put that away.
Sweeter today too.
Being on point. Asking your words. I've done that. You know I've done that a couple of times.
What's that?
Fast my words. Gotta get more into this period. Because it also, I noticed when I've done it, it does like when you keep a secret. It feels like that, you know, have more power to shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
I feel more powerful because I shut the fuck up.
Especially when it's like what he's saying is that the way the mind works sometimes is like, especially for men, and I can do what he's saying. Like men is like women say stuff to be like additional. You'd be like, you know the answer to that. It's added. It's adding it's like you're trying to irritate me. You're trying to irritate me. You already know the answer to this, but you know it sets me into a certain and like that's what I said. At 76, you're like, I ain't got time for it. Your husband may be tolerating it, but motherfucker, I know you already know the answer to that. Why you going? But here's a condition. You have conditioned yourself to be. You don't even realize it until after somebody says something to you, and then you're like, I just want to hear myself say it, and then you think that justifies it. That doesn't justify you adding additional. Like I don't like my mind
Actually,
can
being
only.
quiet, better is the situation.
But you already know that.
I learned that. You know I know that.
Yeah. But it takes time, you know, specifically
And
because
attention,
we're
but you have to
habitual.
recognize it.
Yeah, we're very habitual.
Truly recognize. It's somebody just telling you, but really see it in yourself. And then go back and I did that. I said that. I should have said that.
And
I
not,
could have shut the fuck up.
not to
I said
deflect,
that.
right?
Yeah.
So what? I can't
Not to
ask you a
deflect,
question.
yes.
I can't ask you a question.
Yes. Man, it is what it is. It is what it is. Like you said, it's and I believe everybody here is a reflection of us, something that we need to look at in ourselves. Especially if there are people that are rubbing you the wrong
Okay,
way.
good to go.
So it's like, okay, I need to look at that in myself. Oh, hurry up. I need to look at that in myself. Oh, that's so calm. I need
Does
to
this
look at that in
camera come
myself.
out in your? You see it?
Talk too much. I need to.
Huh?
All of that.
No, it's so
So the snapping.
you can't
Huh?
see
So
it.
I'm snapping. That's why I feel like people are snapping at me.
Yes.
Right, I
You gotta
know,
check your
but
snapping.
She's saying that
You have to check your snapping.
I received it.
Yes, receive that. Check your snap.
right, I
Well,
know
that was
that, but I just wanted to know
What'd you
if
say?
it's.
We're all entitled to it,
Yeah.
but it's like
Okay.
some people go overboard.
No,
We all
it's
have a
fine.
button, but what I believe is if you're in alignment, that energy.
Because I mean, if I sit here, if I sit here, would that camera be in there?
That can't come to you.
Okay, so
because
just
you're
turn
not
the
in that
angle.
mind.
Just turn the
Like I say,
angle.
I'm
That's
over here
or
Miss
put
me
it
with
on
that
that
shit.
side so it doesn't.
because I'm not in
Put it
alignment.
on that
Be calling
side.
you real soon because I need to figure out how to
Is
get
it
in
in
the
there
line.
now?
I need to figure out how to get in the
I
line.
appreciate that you wanted to contribute. I'm here, girl.
Okay, that's
I need to
it.
figure out
Yeah.
how to get in the line.
over there. I mean, this is
No,
your.
this is perfect. I just, if we could avoid it being in there in case, we may need some of that footage at some time,
Definitely.
because this is all going up on the cloud. So when Alex go up there and he sees something that he may want from that camera,
Yeah.
he knows, that we don't have to compete with this.
Cool.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay. Well, welcome to the Sunfire TV.
Say it one more time.
All right, family. Welcome home. Welcome to the House of Life, right here at Rio Piedra Organic Farm. And we are here coming to you through Sunfire TV. Sunfire.com is the place where you find us and all of our broadcasts here. So, today we're looking at fasting. Fasting. What is the definition of fasting? To fast. The classical definition of the word to fast. Fasting. So, fasting literally means to hold fast, which means that nothing goes past our lips. So fasting does not involve eating, does not involve activating the digestive system. So also it does not involve even drinking. So being on liquids in today's world, liquids that are filtered, especially fresh liquids, fresh water, living water, coconut water, fruit juice, vegetable juice, with no fiber left in the liquid, that is comparable to drinking water. And we're not activating the digestive system. So the definition of the word to fast has evolved to modern time, that it also accepts or encompasses people who are just drinking juices or even drinking water. Because drinking water, even if it's plain distilled water or coconut water, based on the classical definition of fasting, you're not fasting. So we see that just through the word that they use to describe our intake when we wake up in the morning. So when we wake up in the morning, they say that we are now going to have our break fast. We're going to break our fast. No matter what is going in, you're breaking the fast. And that's because you're putting food, you're putting liquid, you're putting something into your digestive system. So you're no longer fasting. So obviously the implication is that while you were sleeping, you were fasting. Nothing got past your lips, unless, the devil did it or whatever. We always find some other reason to, I was sleepwalking or something, I got up and went to the fridge and then realized that I thought I was, dreaming. The same way like, some grown men are pee the bed, and they say they thought they went to the bathroom. In their dream they were somewhere peeing, and it was in the bed, or grown women too, anybody, but now I think we've reached the point where those things don't happen that much as it did in the past, because growing up in a household with 40, 50, brothers and sisters and cousins and everybody, we came from a big family. Could be 50 of us in one bed. That's how grandma used to bunk us up. And who peed the bed? Was it me? So anyway, so fasting while we're sleeping at night, we're fasting. So that's 8 hours. That's 8 hours, and we see what would happen if we didn't involuntarily go to sleep every night. We don't have a choice. Life lays us down on our back and puts us to sleep every night So we have to fast. Most of us will be eating 24 hours a day if we didn't have to fast at night. So back in ancient days, when people did extended fasting, like in certain religions, they would do the Lent fast, which just ended for most of these religions around the end of February, and they break the fast on Good Friday. Good Friday, and Easter Sunday is the big feast. So they break it 2 days before, on Good Friday. So they open the bag slowly. So by Sunday, Easter Sunday, they got the big throwdown going on. So when you read the literature on these people, it says, oh, so-and-so fasted for 40 days and 40 nights. Very specific, because we already understood that so-and-so fasts every night. But on this special 40 days or 40 nights, they're complementing it now with 40 days of fasting. So yeah, that was the word. In ancient time, when they fasted for 40 days and 40 nights, it was breatharianism. Nothing, no liquid, no nothing went past their lips. A dry fast. And you see most of us today, we're struggling to fast for 40 hours. Some of us 40 minutes. You can't fast. 4 hours, here comes the next load and the next load. So a lot of what's going on with why we eat the way we eat. Frequent eating, because if the body is backed up with toxins, with waste, then once we stop digesting, the body goes into elimination mode automatically. So if you skip a meal, lunch, you normally eat lunch at 12. It's 2 o'clock and you didn't get to eat lunch. And you got that headache, you remember that one? That kicking migraine headache that's beating you up. And our decision is that I'm hungry. I'm hungry. I got this headache. I'm hungry because I didn't eat. I haven't eaten yet. I missed lunch. Y'all, messing with me, and I didn't get to eat lunch, and now I'm hungry, and I got this headache that's kicking my butt. What is going on? Digestion. You emptied out from digestion from breakfast. Took you 4 hours. So 8 a.m. before you left home, you had your breakfast. 12 p.m. the stomach is empty. That breakfast went through 4 hours. So 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, you like 2 hours, without digestion. So now elimination takes place. Boom, the body begins to eliminate automatically. Once the body stops digesting, it begins to elimination. So elimination kicks in. So what did that mean? The tissues, the cells are throwing toxins out, releasing toxins, and they go into the bloodstream. So this bloodstream now full of toxins, circulating in the body, passes through the brain, and the blood moves slower on the brain. So here these toxins are lingering on the brain, these extra seconds, extra minutes, with all these toxins in it. Boom, 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 boom. That splitting migraine headache. Because you now got an overload of toxins in the blood that's running slow on the brain. Your oxygen level drops, all of this drop. Buenas, señor Abdul. Okay, muy bien. And so we're gonna take a minute here to greet my great friend Abdul. We're gonna have a farm tour today. We're gonna have a farm tour to go see the fruits. We're gonna have a farm tour today. Abdul is gonna lead us on the farm tour. Oh, Yira, ¿no está? Okay, so Abdul is gonna do it himself personally.
Dale, pues usted me avisa cuando termine.
Bien, pues, en 1 hora?
1 hora.
Okay, 1 hour. We'll wrap this science up, and a good friend
Voy a
Abdul.
abrir una ventana allá, ¿no?
Okay.
Paco a la llave.
Okay, so that's our the man that owns the property here, Abdul from Lebanon. Been here years, you know. When Israel got created, you know, a lot of those people fanned out with their big money and hit the world. He's got family in Senegal, been there 30, 40 years. And I think a cousin of his makes about 1,200 products for Nestle out there in Senegal, all those bouillons and all this kind of stuff. So we late.
Yeah.
We real late. We still trying to make, what are we making, dumplings or something. But we here, we coming into business. We coming in the business circle now and, you know, deal with some of this stuff. So anyway, we're back on this here. So fasting, 40 days and 40 nights, being a breatharian, and breaking that fast, breaking that fast is very crucial, very important. So this act of missing a meal and digestion stops, because digestion stops and elimination, because the body cannot digest and eliminate simultaneously. Yeah. So you see, you know, our friends, our family members, our loved ones who might be like 200 pounds over, you know, the minute they sit down, they go into, the minute the digestive process stops, they start eating. Now you see, a lot of them don't eat a lot at one setting. They eat more frequently because it's to keep the toxins from coming out of the tissue and coming into the bloodstream. So a little toxin rises, they're hungry, and they push it back down. You know, so you might see somebody that's like 700-800 pounds just sitting around by the hot dog counter. You know, it's like, damn, the last thing he needs is another one of those. But that's the first thing they want, because they're trying to push whatever's coming out of the tissues, push it back down, because it's very uncomfortable. You talk about a headache. A headache is mild compared to what's going to happen. They could have a heart attack. Yeah, because all of this stuff coming back upstream and coming through the heart, coming through the lungs, you know, all at once. So this is a lot, you know, just the understanding of how the body works, how the digestive system works, kind of like really wake us up to some of the things we've been doing. So hanging out with Dick Gregory during the time when he had Walter Hudson. You heard of Walter Hudson?
The long ponytail guy, the big guy. Yes.
You know, you heard of Walter
Yes.
Hudson?
Hudson,
Okay. 1,200 pounds.
Yeah.
He didn't want to come outside.
And Mr. Drama, Dick Gregory, had big national news, follow him to the man's house.
Yeah.
Cut the door off the bedroom because he ate his way, that he couldn't come out of the bedroom door. And he had big drama. Took him down to Dick Gregory's Fat Farm, Fort Walton Beach, Panama City, Florida, or near Panama City, Fort Walton. And so I was connected with him through at that time, through the Cottonwood Hot Springs in Cottonwood, Alabama, owned by the Bronner brothers. So we used to take, you know, people like that there. And, but the whole thing was, you know, what he did, he also had the Bahamian diet going on. So he used this to promote the selling of his Bahamian diet. I think he got like $100 million contract when he developed the Bahamian diet. You know, but you know, a lot of these things, the way they go. So he had a big Cernitin of America, a company from Switzerland, who pretty much bought it or invested in the formula or something to that effect, and guaranteed him $100 million because it was multi-level marketing. So he's on top of the pyramid. So he gets the first $100 million profit that's sold. So that's how they buy your company. You know, you use you to generate the money to pay you. But that's slick, you know. So that's why I'm sitting here with Abdul, trying to make my $4 million right here to buy the property from him. So anyway, a little side action there. Uh, so so uh, so we want to now kind of, you know, work with the body the way it works, and we understand that, you know, we're pros at fasting. We're pros at fasting since birth. You know, a lot of us are born fasting. Babies be sleeping for hours, days, because we're doing building work. So you can't be digesting while you're doing building work. So you don't have a digestive system. That's why Mama is going to give you a blood transfusion for 2 years through her breast milk, so that you can take your time and develop your digestive system perfectly. So when we sleep every night for 8 hours, we are fasting. We are fasting, and again, it's a safety valve. So this is our daily cycle, the pivot of our daily cycle. 8 hours of fasting every day, shutting it down, no digestion taking place. So this is the reparation mode. This is when we're rebuilding the body. This is when we're breaking down the dead cells and putting up new ones. Next morning, 8 hours, phase 2 is the elimination phase, where we want to get rid of the waste matter. We have 8 hours of breaking of the fast. We have 8 hours to break the fast, 8 hours to eliminate sweating, urinating, defecating, anything, all that you got to do, or all you can do to get waste matter out of your system. You know, and some of us, even before having this passion and this coconut water, you know, we go drop 2-3 loaves in the morning, automatically.
Yes, I looked at you.
Automatically.
I was like, she must have looked.
I looked right at you.
Yeah. Was it like that before you got here?
Yes.
It was like that if she'd been on it.
But I've been,
You've been,
We've been
yeah,
following you.
yeah, I've been doing work, right?
right. So most of us, though, depending on how we eat the day before, especially the night before, we get up and no action.
Yeah.
No action. But following the Sunfire system, which we call the feasting, fasting, and healing system, based on the electromagnetic energies of food, you automatically get up in the morning. Your first act, normal act, would be going to the throne and dropping a load. You know, and for some of us, it's like, I can't wait to get there. You get up and the first thing is hit the throne. And it's like, boom, one drop. You don't have to push, nothing. It's just like right there, right at the gate.
Yeah.
And everything just falls out. Boom, not you have to, or you don't have to take a book with you and try to meditate, all this kind of stuff. One drop. So the natural, normal time to have your bowel movements is in the morning, between 4 a.m. and 12 noon. This 3 bowel movements a day is based on 3 meals a day. The next one in the front door pushes the other one out the back door. So if you're having 3 meals a day and you're not having 3 bowel movements a day, then something is wrong. But if you're just having, like what we've been doing, 1 meal a day, that one big meal, mid to late afternoon, you know, you're really supposed to just have 1 movement. Because breakfast is not supposed to be a meal. You know, liquids and fiber, fruits and juices, electrical foods to facilitate elimination. So the first thing, ideally from 8 p.m. to 4 a.m. is the time we're sleeping. 2 hours after sunset, we sunset at 6, we in the bed, we wake up 2 hours before sunrise. So the rooster crows at 4 a.m., wakes the town, tell the people, I feel it, the sun is coming. So everybody wakes up. See those cows we saw in the pasture yesterday? They up. They up before the crack of dawn. And they're not just up, they up and at it. They're grazing in the grass. They out there roaming around, and what are they doing? They're eating that grass before the night dew dries up. before the night dew dries up on that grass. So before the sun rises, 4:30, 5 o'clock, 5:30, they out there roaming around, eating that grass, getting that chlorophyll, or getting that, right, the chlorophyll that's in that grass, but also getting the capacity to produce B12. So we produce B12 by eating grass. Even we can do it, but we're not grass eaters by nature, so it's a big job. So if we're, the farmers who know this, or the people who have their home garden who knows this, they know I'm gonna pick this lettuce tomorrow, I'm gonna pick this little area of spinach tomorrow. So before I retire for the day, I'm gonna hose it out, right there in the field. I'm gonna hose it good, get all the dirt off, nice little spray hose, get all the dirt off, everything. So in the morning, before sunrise, I wanna pick those greens, because I want the morning dew on those greens. And I'm not gonna go wash these greens off in the morning. You want that morning dew that was dried up on there, even if it's dry, even if it's not wet. B12. B12. And that's why, some of us, we have to be careful how we get real clinical about washing our greens. If you don't see soil on there, certain things are not grown that close to soil, that there's soil on there. If you don't see dirt between the celery, between the leaves of the lettuce, don't be washing the life out of it, trying to get the dirt out or the dust out. Eating clay is no big deal. Bentonite clay, Aztec healing clay. You can eat this kind of stuff to heal yourself. So a little dirt on your lettuce, it's not gonna kill you. But we're looking at, the flies was on it, the bees was on it, the this was on it. You saw the bees were on my mango yesterday. Well, let them put a piece aside for them. But it's stressing. They want to come to. I put the skin right there. The seed we ate right there. But they want the one I'm peeling. And we're trying to go to war with them. They ain't trying to sting us or nothing.
Yeah.
They're like, yo, brother. But we don't want to share with them. We got dominion over the beasts of the earth. Come on, let them alone. If the flies come and they're trying to eat your fruit, they're eating fruits. Unless you got meat. Even, you go to Lagos, Nigeria, you go to the market, there's flies swarming on every piece of meat in the market. What do you do when you go there? Meat eaters, what do you do when you go to the restaurant in Lagos and go eat that same thing you saw the flies on this morning? We don't complain. We don't complain. The little worm in a mango. We don't want the whole mango because we saw a worm in it. The worm only ate mangoes. But yet we go order the big shrimp. A big worm that eat doo-doo out of the earth, out of the bottom of the sea. But we don't see that as a threat. But the little worm in the mango. So, we got a relationship with these beings out here, I'm not saying go eat, dirt and stuff like that, but just be mindful, be mindful that, we're coming from, inner cities, big cities and a lot of this stuff, and what you see out here is not the same, of what you see when you see it there. So, fasting every day, 8 hours. Now what we want to do now, we jump to our our weekly cycle. So for the weekly cycle, you want to shut your digestive system down 1 day a week. You want to stop digesting 1 day a week. Maybe you can't do it, so you want to modify. Maybe just eat fruits 1 day a week. Anything that interrupts your heavy digestion, slow it down. So maybe it just means for me, I'm just gonna eat fruits every Saturday. Or for some of us, it could be, I'm not gonna eat any cooked food one day a week. You start at a comfort zone. You know, for some of us, be like, I'm not eating no meat, no animals, one day a week, whatever it is. But modify your rhythm one day a week and give the digestive system some kind of ease up or let up on the heavy demand that we've been putting it on it for the last 6 days. So going into doing the fast, the liquid fast, coconut water, fresh juices, fruit juices, vegetable juices, once a week, we're giving the digestive system a well-needed rest, so now the body's gonna focus on elimination. So all day today, during our wake time, we're gonna drink 1 gallon of juice, coconut water, juice. We're gonna pour it in. You know, for those of us who may need a little extra kick, then we could do a nut milk, a seed milk. But we're gonna filter it, we're gonna press it out. It's not gonna be rich, not gonna be a milkshake, anything thick and stuff like that. And but ideally, coconut water is the order of the day when you're fasting. You want to fast on coconut water. I thought that was our Lord. But he's going to go to get it. So pretty soon he's going to be rolling in here with 300 coconuts in that boogie here for us. So we want to be present to put this drama on Sunfire TV here. So folks see how we do it here in Paradise. So what you're doing now today, you're going to loop 2 fasting nights together. So you began your fast after the last meal yesterday. Ideally, 8 p.m. is my last meal. You know, 6 p.m., daylight dining, but we're gonna mark it at 8 p.m. because we're going with the rhythms of the day. So the natural rhythm is to be sleeping from 8 p.m. to 4 a.m. 2 hours after sunset, we wake up 2 hours before sunrise. So we're still fasting. We started our fast. It's a 36-hour fast that you're doing on Saturdays. From 8 p.m. Friday night to 8 a.m. Sunday morning. So it's a 36-hour, not a 24-hour fast like how we would do it in certain religious circles. You know, like the Jews. They start their fast sunset Friday, and they break it sunset Saturday. At Seventh-day Adventists, the same thing. Most religions, they're not doing the kind of fast we're doing. We're doing a therapeutic fast. We're fasting for therapy. We're fasting for preventive care. You know, trying to not get sick. But they're doing a spiritual fast. They're trying to get closer to their maker. You know, making a sacrifice so they can fast and pray all day. Most of them, they're in church all day today, fasting and praying. And we in church right now. We in our temple. Our body is our temple. The body is our church. We should be in church every day, 24/7. You know, being present and all of this kind of stuff, meditating every day. So what you're doing, you're looping 2 fasting nights together, Friday night and Saturday night. So you got a big jump start, a head start. You got 16 hours that you normally fasting anyway. So during the day, all day today, this 20-hour period, well, the other 20-hour period, including, you know, the times we're sleeping and the time before we wake up. You know, the time after we wake up before we break our fast, like we break up at 4 a.m., but you don't really do the thing until the daylight dining at 6 a.m. So you add those other 4 hours up in there and you get 36 hours. So, so all day, we're gonna drink 1 gallon of liquid. In the ideal world, we wanna do a gallon of coconut water. When I started off with this 53 years ago, I did distilled water because that was the way it was done. The first book that I read when I got into the consciousness was Paul Bragg's, or trying to get into this life. Paul Bragg's Scientific Fasting. That book is still around. 36 hours, distilled water fast from 8 p.m. Friday to 8 a.m. Sunday morning. And I was a knockout, kicked my butt, but now, I figured out why and all of this stuff. And then somewhere along the way, I switched to coconut water when the lights went off, and, you see that this is, the real thing. But distilled water fast is tough because it releases a lot of toxins and it just keeps moving it, but it doesn't stimulate bowel movement like coconut water does. It doesn't stimulate that peristaltic movement. So more than likely you're not going to have a bowel movement all day Saturday if you're doing distilled water. If you're doing coconut water, you might, but there are going to be some of you who are not going to have a bowel movement on coconut water all day Saturday. Even on fruit juices, you may not have a bowel movement, or vegetable juice. So don't panic, don't be alarmed if you don't have a bowel movement. That's not a problem, unless you're having a headache. Now, if you haven't had a bowel movement 4 or 5 o'clock and you're having these headaches, drink more. Number one, that's the first thing. You got to keep the blood moving with the toxins so it doesn't linger on the brain that fast. So flood yourself. Drink more than a gallon. 2 gallons if you can make it. Dick Gregory, I think he had Walter Hudson on about 4 or 5 gallons of water a day. A day. A day. You got to keep it moving. You got to keep those toxins moving. So, but you get to a point where it's very uncomfortable. You might want to pull the plug. Do an enema. Do an enema. You're at home and you're doing your fasting, trying to make this work, and you don't want to eat, and you can't drink anymore. Pull the plug. Pull the emergency plug, and pull the because basically your colon is already too full. You don't have no more room in there, and you're not getting stimulating to have a bowel movement to make room in the colon. But the tissues are throwing more shit at you. Smack, smack. So it's coming back upstream. Instead of going out, it's coming back into the bloodstream. Now it spills over, kicks up into the stream, floating through the brain, and you're dizzy, you're nauseous, you want to faint. That's what happened to me my first night when I did my distilled water fast. I blanked out. So anyway, pull the thing. Or if you know this is going to happen to you the night before, Friday night before you go to bed, go easy on that meal. Have a light one, maybe just vegetables, no heavy, nothing. And take a laxative. Take Senna or Cascara Sagrada, Friday night. So you get up first thing Saturday morning, it's like boom, 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 you dropping bricks. Or drink a quart of prune juice. Friday night. So you get up in the morning, here it goes. So the best prune juice is go buy you a pound, a little bag of organic prunes. Pitted, all of that. Buy you 1 pound of that and soak it in coconut water overnight. A gallon of coconut water, or quart of coconut water overnight. Or during the day, Friday. Soak it Friday morning. If you're doing it in coconut water, keep it in the fridge so it won't spoil for the day. And Friday night, you blend it. Don't strain it or nothing. And drink that quart of prune juice. You're going to be dropping some serious bricks. You're opening up the way. You're freeing up the colon. So whatever is released during the day on Saturday, you have room for it to move it out. Or take an enema Friday night. If you're prone to being constipated or your bowels move slow, create some space for the release that's coming through on Saturday. So, but normally, if you no headache, no nauseousness, no dizziness, no uncomfortable feeling, write it out. write it out. You don't see no bowel movement, write it out. The next day, Sunday morning, you're in a shower with the inner body soap. That might do it right there. The minute you do that, it's like, oops, here it comes. If that doesn't happen, then your fruit juice. Or go walk. Run something that might stimulate it. That move it, you know. Take some tissues with you. You know? So you have to try to rush back to your personal throne. You know, and or when you come back from your workout, you have your juice, big 2-4 glasses of juice, fruit juice. It might come by then. Boom, boom, boom. That don't happen. By late Sunday morning, you have your big platter of fruits. Should come by then, because you're putting fiber in now. You're going to really push it out. So the thing is to really work with the body. Work with the body. Be careful with enemas. Be careful with colonics. Be careful with laxatives. You're going to develop a crutch for it. They're going to end up being a crutch. You know, the most extreme case that I saw was, what's her name? Shasha or whatever her name was, Calvin Klein's wife. Went up to her house to do a program to train her chef to fix some food for her. And the colonic guy came every day. She couldn't shit. So be careful with these. When I mention names, don't.
Yes.
You know.
These are probably we'll keep it for us.
Say what?
These right here, like when you talk like that, we'll keep it for
Right,
us.
I know, but I'm just
Gotcha.
just really
I won't
making
post
it
For sure.
clear.
Gotcha.
You know, when I drop names, you don't necessarily,
Absolutely.
you know, you could just delete that, or, you know, at least don't put it out there. You
Not
know,
for public.
because people,
Yeah.
you know, people are always, you know, judging.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just basically, this is educational reference.
That's what we want.
This is educational reference. And I think it is important to call people's name when you use an education as a reference, especially people whose name is known. So you know, it happens to them too. You know, and if it does happen to them, it can happen to you. So, yeah, could not have a bowel movement without a colonic. Yeah, you're gonna develop a habit. You're gonna inactivate your muscles, and you're gonna always need that crutch. So be careful with crutches, laxatives, all of this stuff. You know, so let's be very, very careful with these things. You know, if you're gonna do a series of colonic irrigation, it should be the only one you do for the rest of your life. Otherwise, you just detox into retox. So don't detox to retox, because it's worse. Once you clean those cells out, it's like brand new sponge. And you absorb those toxins, they get absorbed at deeper levels. You know, you finish a 30-day program with me, and the first thing you do, you go to stakeout. And next thing now, you calling me, telling me how you broke out. So we have to be careful. We have to be careful how we do these things, how we break the fast. So all day Sunday, the day after your fast, you want to have 50% fruits minimum. So you might want to eat fruits till 2, 3 o'clock. 50% fruits. The more electrical food, you want to push, you want to clean out, you want to get in there and just rake out all that stuff that was released during the fast, because it's been released. Even though you didn't have a bowel movement, it's in the pipeline. So you now got to come in there and just bowl it out, sweep it out. Big whole watermelon, you know, big fruit salad. So no protein, no rich stuff during this fruit time, 50% for the entire day. So this is Sunday, the day after your fast. Then the rest of the day, 50% vegetables, 25% vegetables and 25% protein. So no starch, ideally. But if you're going to eat starch, then you're eating starch and protein. So it should be 25% starch and or protein, not 25% starch and 25% protein. So it's 50% fruits, 25% vegetables, These are non-starchy vegetable fruits, leaves, and stuff like that. 25% vegetables and 25% protein and or starch. 25%. That's your 100% for the day. So you're bumping up the fruit. And you're going to see how at the end of that day, you're going to be so much lighter. So yeah, it's Sunday, and most of us feast big on Sundays. So it's kind of tough. Like, we're going to feast tomorrow, you know, but this is an unusual day. We're studying. So we're learning how to make this stuff. So when you go home, you don't really want to go back to fasting every Saturday and having a big Sunday throwdown. If you want to do that, just be mindful. You can have a big throwdown, but small plate. You can have 5, 6, 8, 10 courses, whatever you want, but keep the plate according to your waistline. Remember the waistline parties?
Yeah.
You always with the waistline parties from school. You all play hooky, go to the waistline party. So the waistline party, the admission to the basement, because we did it in the basement, because we had to be grinding up against the posts, you know, the waistline party.
Yep.
And you know, the deep knee grind, all of that kind of stuff, the deep knee bend, and we like, woo! So, but anyway, the admission to the waistline party was how many inches around your waist? 23 inches, 23 cents. You got 50 inches around the waist, 50 cents. That's how we measured the admission to the party. Because you're going to take up a lot of space, and the basement is tight. So you got to pay your rent, your real estate. So, but yeah, so it's important to eat according to your waistline. So you want to have small plates, you know. You can have big variety. Or switch your fasting day. Make it Tuesday or Wednesday. If you traditionally, you're feasting with the family every Sunday and you don't want to interfere with that, you know, you want to keep up with the family tradition, fast another day. But the day you fast, you really want it to be the low stress day of the week.
Yes.
And you ideally need another day to bounce back, to break the fast. Because breaking the fast is more critical than the fast itself. So you don't want to break it with a traditional breakfast, you know, so you're going to be in trouble if you do that. So any questions about fasting on Saturdays?
So you mentioned enemas when you were talking about that. So how, like, and I heard you say like it's not being a crutch, but how often, if ever, like when you're doing a fast, do you even recommend it? Because I know like fruit being cleansing, and you see how the bowel movements may be, but for sometimes you may hear people say you still need enemas to go in and help cleanse the colon. But I haven't really, like when I've done long fasts, they seem to be okay without enemas. But
Okay, so right now we're just talking about the weekly fast. As we move on
right
to more extended fast, but for the weekly fast, it's an emergency
okay.
during the day to day.
If you have an issue, if you're not going,
What if you feel uncomfortable?
comfortable, got you.
If even though if you're not going and it's okay, but if you feel uncomfortable, you want to go ahead and take an enema.
Got you.
Rather than sitting there all day with a headache.
Okay.
You know, and you see, the body is so dynamic, and each one of us is different. It's
sure.
not like everybody else. We're not all going to have the same experience. It's going to be different. Okay, so here comes so they're not bringing it on the tractor. Yeah, so grab that. Let's grab it. Yeah, here it comes. You can go, get that real tight up there. Get the hand cart coming in with that. So I told them this week to give us some jelly with meat, coconuts with meat with some flesh in it, not all the little baby ones, it's just full of water. Okay, so he's got a pile down there? Oh, no. So the tractor went to the bush to bring it, and they brought it by boat. They went up the river to get to harvest it, so they brought it by boat. Yeah, and see another thing, when you're fasting on Saturdays or anytime you're fasting, again, a low stress day, And you want it to be a day where you could chill. Go to, if you live in a city, go to the park. You know, find a river, find somewhere in nature, chill. If you're just at home and, you know, make it comfortable, you know, or sleep. Because your body's doing repair work. Your body's doing more repair work now that you're fasting, the day that you're fasting. So don't be shy and just go back to bed. Just go back, stay in bed all day. You heard what the doctors tell you when you come down with a flu? Rest in bed and drink plenty of fuel. Don't go on a fast. Tell them like it is, doc. Tell them to go on a fast. Rest in bed and drink plenty of fuel. They refuse to say the word. They refuse to admit that there's some folks out here who know the real science. Rest in bed and drink plenty of fuel. Be sneaky, huh? They sneaky. Co-op in the stuff, but don't want to call it what it is. But it's cool. We understand they're in trouble. Want a malpractice education. They're trying to get us to pay for it. So they don't want to let us know where they got the real stuff yet.
You said break your fast to 25% protein or starch. What are some of your favorite proteins that you
Well, so ideally no starch ever. But if you're eating starch, then cut back on your protein. That's the main thing. So 25% protein and or starch. The starches, 3 groups: grains, beans, and roots. So under those 3 subgroups, the grains, the finer the grain, you can get away with it easier. But it's still not recommended. But if you must eat grains, the finer one: quinoa, millet. No, that's not fine. That's big.
Grapes?
Quinoa, millet. Amaranth, teff. No, spelt, beet, wheat, all of those are big. Oats, those are all big. Buckwheat, all of that is big. The fine ones, teeny weeny one. Fonio from West Africa. That's the best grain, period. Even if you cook it in 5 minutes and the damn thing is cooked. Some starch you can't cook no 5 minutes and it's ready. You soak fonio overnight for 12 hours and the damn thing is sprouted already. Soft and ready. But I'm not encouraging you to eat fonio. I'm not encouraging you to eat any of these things. But if you must, the finer the grain, the better. The beans, the smaller the beans, the better. Lentils, split pea, or the greener the beans, the better. Green beans, fresh. But the big ones, the black-eyed peas, the kidney beans, the navy beans, lima beans, all those big ones, the bigger the worse.
Yeah.
And when it comes to the roots, the ones that will grow closest to the surface of the earth, the better. The more moisture, the better. The ones that grow deeper, the worse. So it's clear?
Well, protein.
Seeds. The seeds are finer. Sesame seed, sunflower seed, flax seed. Here, the seeds are right here.
I got pictures of all that.
So you see your seeds: chia seed, poppy seed, flax seed, sesame seed, sunflower seed, pumpkin seed, cashew seeds, nuts or pecans, almonds, walnuts, the big ones. So in terms of protein choices, in lightening up, you go with the finer. With the grains, here we got our grains right here. So you see, millet, baby quinoa. So we talk about baby quinoa. Okay. And we talk about white rice. So we're going to soak those. White rice and quinoa.
Okay.
So we'll show you how we activate those.
Is
Once
white
you
rice and black rice the same thing?
No, wild rice and black rice are two different things. There is wild rice, which is it's not a rice, it's a straw, but for convenience it is classified with rice. And it only grows in North Dakota, USA, the only place on the entire planet. The indigenous people, wild rice. North Dakota, it's got to be cold, it's got to be, I don't know, it's a whole science that they figured out. The black rice from Japan is japonica. It's black. That's the black rice. That's different than wild rice. And then you have the one from China. The black rice from China is the forbidden rice. The forbidden rice because only the emperor and the emperor's family could eat the black rice in China. So everybody else was forbidden. If you're not part of the emperor's clan, you're forbidden to grow it, to possess it. It was like ganja. You get locked up, you get killed. So that's why they call it the forbidden rice. So these are three different types of rice. But so when it comes to the seeds, the protein, the finer seeds, but fine, you could still, breaking your fast on Sunday, you could still have, your cashew, your walnut, your pecan, but it's how much. It's how much. But then even further, ideally, breaking your fast, for me, on Sunday, avocados would be my choice, or coconut cream, in terms of my protein. If I'm just doing, because it's nice. See, this is a huge commitment, because we've been used to big food, and to just the day that you break your fast to eat light, and especially on a Sunday, and then what you're talking about, like Sunday, for example, if you do your fruits in the morning, you're cool. And then for lunch, if you want to do like just a salad, you want to do just a salad, no protein or anything like that. So it could be a fruit salad or a vegetable salad. But you want what I would call a broom slaw, roughage, things with fiber, celery, carrots, cucumber, roughage, that broom slaw that we had, the root slaw we had, shredded or spiralized, different roots, beets, and all of these types of stuff. So you want stuff that's going to come in and sweep out what's been released. So a nice big salad for lunch, Sunday, a broom slaw with some olive oil, lemon juice, no heavy, creamy, rich protein. Your protein you have at the end of the day on Sunday for your dinner. So your protein, now the same salad, you can add avocados to it. You can add coconut cream on it.
Tahini?
So you want to come in light Sunday. You break in the fast Sunday. So then you have Monday. Well, before we go there, let's look at Friday. So the day after the fast, Sunday, the day before the fast is just as critical. So Friday, you want to have 50% vegetables. Green leafy vegetables, vegetable fruits, and non-starchy vegetables. 50% of your entire intake for the day on Friday. So now, in my house, traditionally we shop on Saturday. Brooklyn, New York, farmers market, Saturday. We go to Union Square, we go to Grand Army Plaza, the big farmers come in, so we shop on Saturday. So Friday, get rid of all the greens out of your fridge. Like what we had, like yesterday, we had a green high. We started that from Thursday, but you don't want to take greens into next week, because you go into the market tomorrow. So get all your greens, juices, salads, whatever, on Friday, your vegetables. So 50% vegetables on Friday, you're breaking it down. getting the system ready to open up Saturday. 25% fruits, 25% protein. So I have a light fruit thing Saturday morning, Friday morning, 25%. Then you have a nice big vegetable salad for lunch. Lots of vegetable, heavy. And your protein late afternoon. You have your protein, Or you might do that for lunch with your vegetables and then come back for your vegetable meal, just vegetables alone. Because you're going to be fasting now the next day. So Friday evening, or Friday dinner, you have just vegetables for Friday dinner, just a salad. So you're really not programming the body. You're really conditioning it, and you're setting it up for the week. You have to really domesticate the body. Like we train the dogs. This is a human animal. Train it. We eat at hazard, and we're eating out of control. And we're going on maybe mama's training or somebody else's training, the banker's training, the advertiser's training. So now you have the day before the fast, Thursday. And the day after the fast, Monday. So Monday and Thursday, you're going 1/3. That's the full balance days. Monday and Thursday. Everybody following me?
No. Say that again.
Where did we lose you?
Are
You got the
balance
fasting
days?
day is Saturday. All liquids. The day before the fast, Friday, 50% vegetable, 25% fruits, 25% protein. The day after the fast, Sunday, 50% fruits, electrical food, coming in there and pushing stuff out. 25% protein, 25% vegetable. The day before the fast, that's Thursday. The day after the fast, that's Monday. So Monday and Thursday, 1/3. 1/3 fruits, 1/3 vegetables, 1/3 protein. Got it?
Got it.
So 1/3. The day before, the day after, 1/3. Fruits, vegetable, and protein. Protein or starch. Okay? We got that clear. But I normally just say protein because starch is really supposed to be off the plate.
Yes.
But if it's off the plate, if it's on the plate, then cut your protein down. We clear?
Yes.
So now, the middle of your week, Tuesday and Wednesday, those 2 days opposite your fasting day. So you see that Saturday, fasting day, then those 2 days, like the peace sign, Tuesday, Wednesday, that's the middle of your week. You want to bone up. 50% protein, Tuesday and Wednesday. 25% fruits, 25% vegetables. So you see the pattern. Now this animal got a system. So by Friday, you're going to be TGIF. And automatically, after about 3 months or so, you're going to be on automatic. You don't even have to think about it anymore. You're just going to naturally find that you're just eating so much vegetables on Friday. So we program it, and it becomes automatic. And, Sunday, you're going light. You're keeping it light. You're keeping it real. Forget what traditions say. Forget what grandma did. They had a different reality. This is our reality. Forget what Jesus did. He had a whole different reality. Forgot what Selassie did. This is our turn today. And our reality in this world is that you don't want to fast while you're working. You're going to get stressed out. So you working or you go to school Monday through Friday, so Saturday, Sunday. So that drives your week right there. Because you got to be on the plantation during the week. So you need to really be ready. And the middle of the week, after they stressed you out, Monday, Blue Monday. You see how you coming in Monday? Like, damn, last place I want to be. Blue Monday. Moon Day. This is the Moon Day. The Moon Day. Sunday was the sun's day. Sunday is the sun day. Orange. Orange day, sun. Today, Saturday. Saturn. The rings of Saturn. White, coconut water. Saturn. White, coconut water. Then you have Friday is Venus. Venus, green, is the color for Friday. So you eat your greens, heavy on Friday. Now your big bone up day is Tuesday and Wednesday. What's the color for Tuesday?
Mars red.
Mars Day, red. You really want to eat like a devil. Mars Day. And Wednesday is Mercury, yellow. So you make sure you eat foods that correspond to the color of the day on those days as well. So color therapy applies in nutrition as well. And it's all driven by the planets. Thursday is Jupiter. Jupiter.
That's orange.
Huh?
Is that orange? Is that orange?
Orange is Sunday.
Oh, Sunday.
Purple. Purple. Jupiter. So, Victoria, you have the chart? I never sent you one digitally. So the digital chart, send it to Sunny in WhatsApp, and then you send it to everyone.
Okay.
Send it to everyone, so you can pull up that chart and look at it now. Once you get it, just pull it up and look at it. So you normally. Eso es todo. Para hacer tour. Okay, so we're gonna clip it right here. We're going on the tour. So when we come back, we're gonna look at the chart. Actually, we're gonna wrap it up right here. So Tuesday, Wednesday, 50% protein, 25% starch, 25% 25% fruit, 25% vegetables. And that's it. So we just finished our weekly cycle. So maybe later today or tomorrow, we're going to do the lunar cycle and the yearly cycle and how fasting relates to that. We'll probably do it later today and get it out of the way. So let's go do our fruit farm tour. You're welcome, my brother. Thank you. Okay. So anything that's got some grips, you're okay. No flip-flops, slippery slops. Flops.
I need to run to the restroom.
Yeah.